Hi, this is Joseph. I'm the developer of .NET for AmiBroker. In this demo, I will show you the ChartTrader plugin. ChartTrader is a trade annotation plugin that uses charts for manual or automated trading. ChartTrader is a sample plugin project that is part of .NET for AmiBroker version 6.30.1, and all source code is also included. In the first part of video, I will show you how ChartTrader works from trader point of view, what it does, how you can trade with it, what orders are used for trading. In the second part, I will show you how to set it up on your machine. ChartTrader, as is, currently uses TWS for data source, and TWS and IB controller for trading interface to interactive brokers. I will show you how to configure database, TWS and IB controller so you can test it for yourself. In the third part, I will explain what and how it does, why it is a better solution than an AFL script. I will do a short code overview, a debug session, and show how to customize it or adapt it for other trading platforms. The ChartTrader sample consists of two components. The first component is a demo trading system that generates trade signals. The second is the ChartTrader plugin that does the trading according to the signals. The trading system is only for demo purposes. It's dummy, it's not for real trading. However, the demo trading system generates a trade signal for each bar, which is ideal for demo purposes. The ChartTrader plugin reads these signals and converts them to orders. It also keeps track of the state of the system, the trade, the orders, the position at the broker, the streaming data, and the trading interface. Based on it, it knows what to do when a new event happens, for example, when a new entry or exit signal comes in, when an order is executed, a position changed, when an order is manually cancelled or the position is manually closed in TWS, or when the connection to the brokerage company is lost. Let's see the script. The AFL script has two parts. The first is the dummy trading system. The second part is calling the plugin. The dummy trading system simply generates an incremental sequence of numbers. Then from it generates the buy, sell, short and cover signals, one for each bar, one after another. It also calculates the stop and target prices and plots this information on the chart. Before calling the plugin, it fills in the interface variables. For the long side, the buy and sell signal, the stop and target price, and the position size. The same for the short side. Then it calls the plugin. If you want to use your own trading system, you simply replace the dummy trading system with yours, and you have to set the values for the interface variables. Now let's see what the plugin does. First, let's look at the parameters. You can disable or enable the trading interface. Disable means no trading at all, so you have to handle the orders and positions in TWS manually. You can change the trade mode to manually only or to auto and manual. Manual means that signals are only generated by the trading buttons. Auto means signals from the trading system are used as well. You can change the transfer order immediately to no. In this case, orders must be approved in TWS. It is good for testing. You can turn on and off sound alerts. These three triggers are the same as the buttons at the bottom of the chart. The reset button may be needed when a position is closed manually in TWS, and we need to reset the trading state of the ticker. So what the plugin does is shown on a state chart. While we are in flat state, no orders, no position, an entry signal comes in, either manual or automatic from the trading system. The plugin sends a market entry order along with the stop loss and target limit order to TWS. The later two orders are attached to the market entry order, and they are in OCA group. In long states, there are three main trading events that may occur. We either get a sell signal, or the stop or target is hit. There is a fourth option as well. From long, we can directly go to short position as well. When the stop or target is hit, the position is closed immediately and the system goes back to flat state. The exit signal actually cancels the current orders, the stop and target orders, and sends a market exit order to close the position immediately. When the exit order is executed, the system returns to flat state. Now let's see the chart in action. The chart actually has three areas. It has a status area, it has the button area, and the message area in between. The status area shows the trading mode and the sound alert, the current status, so we are flat, no orders, no position, and the current position at the brokerage, the time left from the last bar, and generally that's the status area. If there is any message, message means error, warning, or information, then it is displayed here, and it is actually sent to the trace window and also sent to the .NET log. So here you can find all the details of the signals, the actual orders, the fills, and so on. So for example, a message when you turn off the trading interface, it is a chart warning. It's valid for this chart only, and it caused some trouble. It's still just a warning, so still everything works, but it's important information. If for example the streaming data is late, or the chart is not up to date, that's a chart error. If the trading interface is lost, it's not connected to the TWS, or TWS is not connected to the IB servers, then it's a global error, because it affects everything. If for example we go long and you cancel the orders here in TWS, that's a trade error. So all these messages are presented here for a while, and they are also in the trace window and in the log. So let's see how it works. We will receive a short signal soon. So let's try something that before. So this is, for example, we went long now. I set it to automatic. So we will receive and process this new signal. We went long with this market order. We have the two stop and target orders. From this we can close the position, and when we receive this signal, we go long. We go short. And when this bar closes, we will close the position. So generally that's it for now. Let's see the log file and what happened here. I guess it starts somewhere here. Manual only. We made a manual buy. This was the order, this was the fill of the entry. We changed the mode from manual to auto. We sent a manual signal to close the position. Then an automatic it was sold and filled. Then we went flat. Then there was an auto trade signal. That was the short. That was the short order, actually, the orders, and that was filled as well. We went back to flat. So let's see what was the fill price, and we got an auto signal. That was a cover. That was the information when we got it. What was the price at the current price at that moment, and what was the fill price of the close order. So everything is logged and traceable. Now let's see what to set up and how to configure the software elements for this ChartTrader. First, let's see what we have here. Oops, we have AmiBroker version 6.30 and .NET for AmiBroker Developer Edition 6.30.1. We have TWS, the latest edition, and IB Controller 138. You can download it from AmiBroker website as well. So then you have to configure everything. First of all, you have to configure TWS. You have to enable socket client, and you have to set the socket port. I use this port because it's a paper trading account. And that's done. You have to configure IB controller for the same port. We are on the same machine, so that's the IP address. Then you have to enter the unlock code that you can request from AmiBroker website. When that's done, you just create a new database. Let's call this just IB. You can either use the Interactive Brokers data plugin that is native to AmiBroker, or you can use the .NET data source plugin. You set the time interval, and here you select Interactive Brokers. This is the .NET data source type. It's better to use this one because it will update the symbol information. So here we set the same port number, the IP address as well, and here we are. It is okay. We are connected to the TWS. So now we just have to add new tickers. And let's add some more exotic. Okay. Here we have to wait for the plugin to fill up the quotation, so I will stop the video for that period. And here we have to use this one. Okay, so the quotation data is backfilled. It seems to almost. This is not backfilled yet, but we can start to add the chart. This, and here we have two problems. Its quotation data is not up to date, and the ticker is not allowed to be traded. It is because the plugin code has two parameters. One of them is the traded security, and the other one is the time frame. So in this case, if somehow the chart is changed for another ticker or for another time frame, the ChartTrader will not generate false trades. Okay, and here we still have to change this, and we are ready to trade. As I said, if you use the .NET data plugin, then these data has all filled up for you, so you don't have to enter it manually. If you use the native data plugin, then you have to set tick size, point value, and other stuff. So here we are ready to do the trading, and we can close it as well. So now let's see the plugin code and look at the code, what it does, how to change it. The sample code is actually part of .NET for AmiBroker Developer Edition. You can find it on this path. Let's copy it to a working folder so we can open it and modify it using Visual Studio. So this is the ChartTrader plugin project. The major files are the charttrader.cs, and this folder, the state machine, it's actually a state machine folder with all the states in it. So first of all, let's set up the debugging. We have to use AmiBroker 6.0 for debugging. I recommend to look at this video, so you will understand why and how we can use earlier AmiBroker versions for debugging. I have AmiBroker 6.0 32-bit platform on my machine installed, so I just change it here, and we are all set for a debugging session. So I just set up some breakpoints, and we can look at the code. Okay, I have the breakpoints set up and they are disabled, so let's just start AmiBroker and look at the code. The plugin's entry point is this ChartTrader class, the ChartTrader method. This part of the code is pretty straightforward. If anything happens, it logs to the log file. I will show you that, so nothing can escape. And the code actually does a lot of checks if the trading logic can be executed. For example, the ticker is enabled to be traded, the time frame is okay, the data source is okay, the chart is updated, it has fresh data, and so on. All this information is collected into the system state object. While it is collected, it is logged and collected. So at the end of this method, all this information is printed on the display. So let's see what happens. For example, if I just disable the interface, we'll receive this message. This is somewhere here checked, added to this collection, and printed here. Okay, so let's say we checked all this stuff, and we know that we can trade the ticker. Then what happens? We restore the ticker state object, which is stored in a static collection of ticker states, and this ticker state is generally the entry point for the state machine. The ticker state has three important objects: a collection of orders, the current position object, and a state object. This state object is actually instantiated from one of these classes: state exit, state flat, state long, state short. So for example, when we start the AmiBroker, state flat is instantiated in this variable. Why is it important? Because when we receive signals and order updates, position changes, these events must be handled according to the current state of the ticker. So for example, we receive a long signal. It will do a very different thing when we are in flat position, in flat state, and when we are already in long state. Okay, so what we'll do, the execute trading logic. Oops, once more. First, it will update the order statuses, and then it will call the current states check order state method. So, for example, right now we are flat, and this method will check the position and the orders according to the flat state. So we do not expect to have any position nor any outstanding orders. So let's see, we checked the orders. What will happen next? Then we come here and check the trade signals. The trade signals, actually first the auto trade signals from the trading system are checked, then what buttons are checked, they are merged. We can decide what way we have to go. So for example, if a buy signal is received or the user hits the buy button, then the execute enter long command is function is called, which is just taking the arguments, logs it, and actually calls the state machines enter long method, which will pass it further to the flat. Because we currently are in flat state, the flat objects similar method. So let's see what happens. State flat and wrong. Okay, and just run it. So now let's hit buy, and here we are in flat state currently, and we receive the buy signal. So now we will send orders accordingly, log it, and then we transition to long state. So the next thing is long state, and here we will hit the check order state the next time the chart is refreshed. Here we are, and now we check the orders according to long state. Previously we checked it according to flat state. We did not expect any orders or position. Here we expect that we will have an entry order which is filled, hopefully. So here we are, entry order, is it filled? Perfect. Log it. We check if there is any other issues, and here we are again, but now we don't have too much to do. We are happy. So now let's see what happens if we just hit a sell, exit long. Perfect. So now we, let's say, close the position. We are in long state, so the long state handler is called. We update the orders, check if the stop or the target order is filled. If not, we just figure out how much security we have to sell, cancel all the current orders, create a new order, and we transition back to flat state. So here we are in flat state, here we in flat state, and let's hit this one. and here let's run it. Orders are sent, and here we are back in flat state, and now we check if there is any open order or positions. So this is how generally it works, and now let's see what's in the log. I was playing with the trading interface here, so this is why these messages are here. Then we received a few trading signals from the trading system, but we did not use it because we were in manual only mode. Here we got a manual buy signal. So now we did a trade at 7:12. These are the prices. We transition to long state. Then we check the status of the orders has changed, and the position as well. In long state, we checked the statuses, and we figured out that the entry order was filled. Then we received another buy signal from the trading system, but it was not processed. However, we received a manual sell or cover signal. So in long state, we figured out we have to sell the position. We sent the current. We canceled the current orders. Then we send the orders to exit. It was sent, and the position actually executed, and the position size changed immediately. At the next iteration in the exit state, we figured out that the exit order was filled, so we transitioned back to flat state. And in the flat state, since that we are looking at the log, we received another automatic signal. So this is how generally it works. So this is what is always called. This is the main logic. A lot of checks. Then the trade logic actually checks the signals, the event handler, the current state, and at the end it displays the messages on the chart. So this is how it works. As you can see, it is in a try-catch block, so everything is logged, nothing can escape, and it is also a compiled code, so it's much better than a script. Much less chance of runtime error. So how you can change it? For example, let's say you want to use different order types, then you just have to rewrite these methods, these event methods. For example, here enter short. We use market order to sell the price, the market, and we use stop and limit orders. Probably you want to use different order types, so you can edit this one. However, think about it, because this state machine is designed for market entry orders and market exit orders. So if you want to use limit orders for entry and exit, you should probably look at the AutoTrader sample, because that is designed for that. If you want to use a different trading platform, what you have to look at is the IB order and IB position, because these use IBC, IB controller. This one as well, and ChartTrader also creates the IB controller. So you have to create a something similar interface to do the trades and check for orders and positions. Okay, if you have any question, just send me a mail. Happy trading.